Alright, white cards. It will likely replace the other 7 cost. Well, Warbreaker you can cast off Temple though. That's the one thing, right, about the Ugin. The only thing is gonna be played in standard. I think it's just like generic, versatile, strong enough to see played in standard. Do you really need to trigger the passive for that card to be good? Doesn't seem like you need to trigger the passive for that card to be good. What do you call it? Frida? I don't know. There's the engine, dragon engine. Ugin plus this town in big enough in a ramshell and the storm chaser. Why? What's the combo with town in big enough? Bounce Ugin. I think if you cast that card, probably not losing very often. I don't think you need to abuse the trigger. I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping it's not too good. I mean, standard is pretty fast format. And like if that card gets countered, losing a permanent might not be the end of the world. Alright, next one. Anafenza. Unyielding Lineage. White and 2, flash, first strike, 2/2. Legendary. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Anafenda endures 2. Put 2 counters on it or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. Legendary's bad, kind of, probably. The body is kind of whatever. They're just gonna kill it first, right? Just bad cards. Unless you can sack, but it's like non-token. At least if it triggered, it would have been really good, right? If it triggered for itself. You got a 2/2 when it died. You can trigger it for the legend roll. That's really exciting. Alright, next. Someone wants to stop me. Alright, Clarion Conqueror. That might just be a vintage cards. So dragon, I guess it's a cheapish dragon. White and 2, dragon, free flying. Activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. So that card's probably good in vintage. What about standards? Red doesn't do anything. Activated abilities, no. Just bad, right? Unless you're playing a dragon deck. Unless there's like a decent dragon deck. And you need like cheapish dragons, but I'm assuming not. Is Clarion good enough for modern? You're not stopping that much, right? If it was activated and triggered abilities, then we'd be talking. It's good against Emery artifact decks. Let's see. Against energy. Well, against energy, it just kind of dies to Bull, so that's not very efficient. It dies to Fatal Push Revolt, dies to Lightning Bolt. Yeah, that's probably just bad. Turns up Zur in standards. Okay, coordinated maneuver. Is that something like? Is that an upgrade for Jeskai tokens, for instance? A white and one. So it's destroy evil because it destroys target enchantment. But instead of killing a creature that has 4 toughness or more, it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. They already have the room that does that. Not the room, whatever it's called. Main deck lockdown removal. Get lost. Yeah, is it better than get lost? Is it better than a room? I don't know. I mean, it's nice not to give the maps to a mono red deck or to the Gruul deck. It's nice not to give the maps. I'll just put, what should I say, role player, potential role player is a good way of describing it. This is conditional. Yeah, dude, I don't know if you've heard, but giving 2 maps to your opponent is not a small downside. 04 Vigilance, Mala is free. Sure, that's not standard playable. New Savannah Lion, Human Soldier. So the good types, it's a 2/1. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay a white and 1 if you do it endures 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on it or create a 1/1 white. Is that just a much better thing? You know what I'm talking about. Just a much better version, and that card was already decent. Good card. Usher of the Fallen. Spirit Warrior, and this is Human Soldier. Creates a spirit, I guess, instead of created more humans or more warriors. It's pretty big that you can attack into 1-power creatures, though. Pagby's owns was War Leader Aura. Yeah, I mean, that's... sounds a little gimmicky. It doesn't even Dutch cut down, right? The free drop that doesn't Dutch cut down. No come into play, so against like Son of Storm, solid. Duty Beyond Death. A white and one is the initial cost to cast a spell, sack a creature. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It's pretty solid against Day of Judgment specifically, right? And people are playing way more Days of Judgments than Sunfalls. Works in Split Up. It's kind of nice. It like makes it so you don't necessarily have to play blue for counter spells against sweepers. Would you ever main deck that card? It's good against, kind of good against removal too. But 2 mana up is rough. Could be a main deck card, like a 1-of in a tokens deck, no? Probably make the list. Alright, new Elspeth. Elspeth Stormslayer, 5 mana. 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many of those tokens are created instead. +1. You get a 1/1, so you get 2 1/1s. 0. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. This creature gains flying till your next turn. -3. Destroy target creature no one controls whose mana value 3 or greater. So it kills like Shelly, Zur, it kills all the good creatures, kills a Nemesis. 5 mana. Who would want that card? Yeah, it works with your other. Yeah, it works with Fountain Ports. Just the mono white mid-range decks. Would you ever play that card in Boros Convoke? It's kind of nasty. It's a lot of tokens. Works with 2 overlords. Works with the white overlords. Ah, yeah, it works with the green overlord. It's a token. Nice. Isn't too expensive 5 for Convoke? I don't know. Is there a better is there like a good 4 mana option, a good 4 mana Planeswalker? Domain. It's not the worst thing in the world for Domain. Triggers beans and has both pretty good defensive card, right? You get 2 Chum Blocker, or you kill some creature. It just seems like generic good card, right? We're kind of numb to these like 5 mana Planeswalkers, and they all look the same and do the same, and it's hard to know like how good they are really. But that card seems super, super solid, right? A Dog Soldier. Nice. Spirit Warrior, another creature dies while this card is in a graveyard, you may pay 2. Back to your hands. Pretty slow. Elephants. Human Scout. 1/2 for 1. When this creature enters, cry 2. Then it fixes your mana in Mardu. Alright, 2 weak for Constructed. Alright, 2 mana instant, 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If Dragon was beheld, you gain 2. Card seems pretty bad, right? Overall. Just not on my watch. Exiles. Exiles pretty big. Monkas? Rally the Monastery. Probably all too gimmicky, not reliable enough to cast on 2 mana. Could be maybe a good sideboard card. Destroy target creature was 4 power 4 greater. I don't know. It's kind of nice to just have Access to removal. It's pretty versatile. So I don't think that card's going to be playable. Randy the Monastery. Thought it could be good in Oculus versus Mono Reds. Torch plus Rally. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of setup, but this is nice was full diversity. Pretty flexible. Discard to Scholar, get it back with talent, etc. Guess I'll add it to the list. Sage of Disguise. That is the LSV Channel Fireball preview card. 2 free flying lifelink for white and 2. Whenever you cast this spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy the spell. There's the plot, right? The red plot cards. Is that an exciting sequence for like Jeskai Oculus? Plot turn 2, turn 3 casted, get 2 free flying lifelink. Is there another way to... Is there other plot cards that are cheap? Or other ways to trigger it on turn 3? There's Slick Shot. Not really a card you would pair with Slick Shot, but that is one. Welcome to chat, JEA. That's Animus. Not very exciting though. Coyote, okay, there's a bunch of bad ones. Ruckus, meh. Okay. Yeah, Highway Robbery is just the best one. 4/6 worth of flying lefting doesn't need to be turn 3. It's fair, turn 4 was opt and stuff. I'll add it to the list. 6 mana. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. As this creature enters, draw a card. I mean, a little setup, but 1 mana for free draw a card somehow? Probably not good enough. Mana Death. White, free enchantment. We have the upkeep return up to 2 target creatures cards with power 2 or less. From a right to the battlefield, put a +1. That's every turn? Well, that's got to be a build around, right? Like self-mail, like abs and roots or something. I mean, it has to be like... Is it good in Pixie? Is it good enough in Pixie? Just value... This was like 12 creatures or whatever. What you have, like Pixie, Scavenger, the 2 free. Costs 5. Too much mana for the effect. I mean, if you build around it... It's really busted with Black Overlords. Just play like the Black Overlord deck, the white, like a white-black deck was a bunch of like Lorans and Ravenous Rats and the ones that draws and, Pixie. It does have to live. It does have to live a full turn, which is rough. There's a lot of good enchantment removal. Beholder TA, welcome to the chat. Glad you found the stream. I'll add it. Like, I think you can build a good deck that fills up the conditions, and the problem with these cards is that sometimes you'll build your deck around it and your deck really sucks if you don't draw that cards. I think you can build a deck that doesn't suck, and that's really good with that cards. Two-card creature combos in standards, I doubt it. But some white-black sacrifice deck, yeah, could be. Static Snare, I didn't see that card yet. 5 mana flash, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature. So 4 mana if you're getting attacked by 1 creature only. When Ascension enters, exile target artifact or creature no one controls on this artifact or creature. Each. I mean, I guess if you're attacking with a lot of creatures, that card's just bad, right? There's no one that wants that card. Storm Beacon Blade, 2 mana and 2 to equip, +3/+0 whenever equipped creature attacks draw card, you control 3 or more attacking creatures. Probably too much setup, even in Convoke and stuff. Stormlane Detainment. Just Oblivion Ring. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and open and control. Just exactly Oblivion Ring, or Sunpearl Kirin. 2/1 Flying Flash Kirin. When this creature enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw cards. So there was the blue one, right, that did the same thing? Or was the blue one only creature? I guess the blue one was probably only creature, but it got a counter. So it's like a 2 mana pixie, but it has flash. And you can like just cycle your otter token to draw cards. Seems good, no? Roll token. Hammer. Did I send my invoice properly this time? Please say yes. It's like literally, it took me like, I don't know, I just always put these things back. I'm just so bad about it for some reason. I did. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Approved invoice. So do people think the Esper decks are gonna play that, or is it too many with Pixie? Do you want more of that effect? Seems like it's gotta be decent, right? Plus you're pretty good at using the flash, right? You already have nowhere to run. Town. Just plays so nicely. Oh, it just straight up replace the fear. Yeah, I've played very little Esper bounce. I don't know if you want more of that effect or not. Or if it gets a little clunky. The fear can return a land though. And the fear is in the casting cost, which is kind of nice against counters sometimes. Now the free toughness. It does die to enchantment removal though. It's a really good, the fear is a really good lower end target. Oh, it's an enchantment, so it works with the 1/1, so it's like ups and downs. Alright, definitely has potential. What about in like Jeskai Convoke? It's kind of... Nah, probably not gonna... I was gonna say it's kind of nice with the clue. You go turn one, a 1-drop that makes a clue or blood or whatever. And then turn 2, you get a body and you get to draw the card right away. I'll be doing early access on Thursday, by the way, so the usual, if people have standard decks, standard lists they want me to try, if possible, with as many new cards as possible. Have your list ready, either on Thursday, or you can post them in the standard Discord, maybe. If you're not sure you're going to make it, or just you want it there. Is there a competitive casual queue again? I don't know. Let me check the email I got. If it says... I'm sure it says... Greetings. So start time's like tomorrow, 6 hours from now, basically. Available formats: standard play queue BO1 entire event, standard rank queue BO1 entire event. So yeah, it does seem like there's ranked and just play. Premier draft, first half of event, quick draft, second half of event, sealed entire event. Gondorod says the Kirin is going straight into my greedy enchantment band control pile. What's your list like? What's your band control pile like? Alright, Teeming Dragonstorm, I'm assuming, is just limited cards. Same for Tempest Hawk. Ooh, United Battlefront. I'm excited about that one. Ooh, Surgeon Salt. And Gunda Spoon. Okay. United Battlefront. A white and free sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creatures, non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from among them to the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I'm excited about that card for the artifact deck and standards. The build I was testing for the PT already had like 30 targets for it, I think. Naturally, I didn't have, without even messing anything up. And I think you probably want like 26-ish, 28, 26. Gundaspoon, thank you so much for the primary sub, 25 months, and Surgeon Salt. You'll feel right at home. Thanks for your sub. I gotta. Where is it? There we go.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling is salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to the extent the air is salt.
Yeah, it is 7 cards instead of 6 too. Yo Man has been cooking with United Battlefront, by the way. Oh yeah. I didn't read his article. I'll post a link. True. He always goes wild with the new sets, just 50 plus MTG decks. Jeez. There's the link here. It looks like LSV also has a little massive DNR changes comes to Modern Legacy and more. There's also an LSV article. Any cards for blue-white control? So far, well, we're just halfway through white. Have you seen the set review website some of the other streamers have been using? It has cool animations and stuff. No. I don't mind using another. I mean, this one's pretty clean, but sorcery instead of instant is also huge. Yeah, I guess sorcery is not ideal. I want Battlefront, but nowhere to run Lillian to play the Dream. It's good to put in play 2-mana Saga, Founding of the Third Path. Why Founding of the Third Path specifically? Caretaker talent. Yeah, but the white deck has a lot of creatures in it right now. Simulacrum Synthesizer's triggers gets hit and triggers of this, I think so. Limited set reviews are starting today too. Okay. Well, you know where to find your free content, chat. Because you get to flash it back on mode free. That's a lot of value. Yeah, there's a lot of cards for free blind mice. People were joking in the Discord that one of the card designers at Wizards has been buying up free blind mice and put like 20 cards in the set that can potentially work with free blind mice. The review website is a hobby project of mine and it has been super cool to see streamers using it. Yeah, you can share the link. There's no decks right now besides the artifact decks that actually have like 20 plus hits for that card, right? Those look pretty good. Does look nice. Alright, let's use that. Space bars to flip the cards. Okay. Customize top rights. Alright, tell me if there's some sweet things, like some functionalities that I'm not using that... Where were we? Battlefront. This is my theory craft for you now. Oh yeah, if people want to share lists, they already have. Post it in the Discord for Thursday too. 2 Braids, 2 Loran, Pixie, Paragon, Sunfold, Battlefront. I mean, how many hits you have? 20? You think 20 is going to be enough? Like 20, and it's only 6 free mana. You know, you want to have as many frees as possible. And then a lot of them are situational, whereas the artifact ones are a little less situational. Chico, Battlefront. Oh, it's blinds. Oh no, no. Oh yeah, free blind. So can you explain the combo for? It's like once you copy, you get a copy of free blind mines you can pop off. How do you make a copy of that card? Is it just Chico? Not to be that guy, but don't you need more cards against reds? More cheap cards against reds? You have like 8 2-mana cards Should I even click Macy's link? I'll humor you. I'm very original. Jace. There's another free blind mice control. You're probably cheating on lands a bit. 25 lands in your free color deck. That absolutely needs to hit his third lane drop, but what does that one do? Grappler? Jace enables both ways to make the token. Voice of Victory. A white and white, one free mobilize suit. Your opponent's Comcast spells during your turn. Whenever this creature attacks for 2 tapped and attacking a 1/1 red warrior, sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. That card seems really good. In the right deck. You play it, they can't kill it, they have to kill it, sorcery speed. Can't run into tricks. Turn 2 voice, turn 3 warrior heater skulls. It's a lot of damage, yeah. I mean, it is like, I guess it's still nice to cut down and you get no value if people know it's your 2-drop, they can kind of play accordingly. Not keep removal mana open as often. Also, if you're not getting value out of the tokens, somehow, it's like free power for 2 mana, it's not like that amazing. Could it see playing a control mirror? I mean, it's good against Ride's End, I guess. It is pretty good on turn 5 with Recruiter. The tokens don't get the pump, but it's still like... I definitely foresee some turn 2 Voice of Victory, turn 3 Teferi BS in older formats. I think that card's that good. It is one-sided. I don't know if the other 2-drops like that are one-sided. Bitches. Alright, well, either way, seems like these 2 cards are going to be good. United Battle and Voice of Victory. Okay, the last one. The Bodyguard. Okay, the card's probably not very good. It's not the worst. I mean, it's pretty decent, but compared to like Sarah Paragon and stuff, it's probably a little worst. Yeah, I was gonna ask best white cards. Best white card for standard. Is there a clear winner? That's the list. No slam dunk. It could just be Elspeth. I doubt it. There's probably one of these cards that's just gonna like... it could just be United Battlefront in the artifact deck, I believe. I believe United Battlefront artifact. Kieran, best card, yeah, it could... I mean, Esper Pix is already one of the best decks. It could be... Let's put a star next to... I mean, Alpha is pretty nasty, right? Triggers Inspector Clues and Fountain Ports and... White, even Bisa maybe. Yeah, Voice of Victory is very like unlikely. I picked United Battlefront. Alright, let's move on to blue. Five mana. Ward 2 turtle, 5/9. When this creature attacks, put free stun counters on it and draw free cards. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. So it's like an annoying blocker that draws you free cards the turn after you cast it. And the game goes really long. You get more value. This plus Steel Seraph give Vigilance. Scroll Shift. Still probably too bad, right? 5 mana. Ward 2 only. I mean, tap up to 1 target creature, draw a card is pretty nice with Sweeper. Especially because the red creatures get so big. Like, a lot of the time you just have to kill a red creature just to not take the one hit. And this draws you a card. Honestly, like, doesn't sound that bad. Feels worse than the whale? Does it? You draw instead of putting the card back on top, which is not even always like... It's up to, you can cycle it. That's huge. You just get to... Honestly, I kind of like that card. I haven't, like, thought about it before, probably just scrolled through it because it was a common, but... Draw a 6/6. Yeah, but that one you shuffle back in. It's kind of nice. You kind of want to draw that card as many times as possible against a red deck, right? Also just triggers beans. If you're playing in a bean deck. Tapped one creature hasn't ever seen play before, right? Well... Were they always up to? Yeah, Fire Ice. Even though Fire Ice can tap lands, obviously. It like helps you a bit against Kaido too, right? I kind of love a card like that lets you play more removal and kind of without like flooding on removal. I don't know, I'll have to see how you play out. Also, it helps you not flood, right? Or does it make you flood? Or is it neutral? I don't know, like, yeah, against a red deck, you're kind of happy drawing that card, like, even late in the game, you just... I kind of like it. Has potential. This is the new dragon counter. Pay 2 if you have a dragon, pay 4. I haven't looked at the dragons and stuff, but a dragon... Has anyone built a dragon deck? Dedicated dragon deck? I guess the island dragon is also good with that card, right? If you want to play dragon control. With the Mox, yeah. We'll try and build one on Thursday if no one has one. Dragonologist. 1 free, a blue and 2 when this creature enters. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal instant sorcery or dragon card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Untap dragons you control have hexproof. That card's nice if there's a deck around it. I'm not going to add every dragon card right now. Dragonologist is a 1-off to fetch in this deck. Total mana value 4 or less. I have some big cooking. So what's this deck trying to do? Tival, then cast Dirge for 1 mana. It has... Oh, is that how Tival works? I'm so dumb. Wait, the mana value is... Why lose 1? Why not lose 2? Dirge is 1 CMC? Why is Dirge 1 CMC? Okay. Okay, yeah, pretty cool. Can you post these in the Discord too? Oh, you don't have to sack it. For some reason, I think when I read that card, you had to sack it. Oh, free for a blue, human scout, 2 taps of Strawberry for a card named Dragonstorm. Dragon, they put in your hand and shuffle. Random control Jeskai deck. Oh, that card's playable. Just too bad when you're on the draw. 2/4/4/4 flying whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Not the worst, I guess. I don't know what I should be doing with all these dragon cards. I should add them all to the list. The spell costs 2 less to cast if you cast another spell this turn. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. 3 mana. Seems like too much work still for what it does. Fresh start, a blue and 1. Enchanted creature. Enchanted gets -5/-7, loses all ability. Flash. Is that a real removal spell? Fresh start is going to be a great anti-red sideboard card. I think that's kind of card that lets you play blue-green or something. Or blue X, maybe even mono blue, or who knows. It is pretty legit. Alright, let's add it to the list. Bunch of commons. I'm assuming these cards are no good. A 3/2 for free. You need to have a creature and return an instant. It's probably too much setup, right, to play it on curve. Marrying River Regent. 4 mana, instant. Draw 3 cards, discard. There's all worse than like... There's one that's like look at the top 4 and keep 2 in standard, something like that. And then 6/7 flying. When this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanent. I mean, I was playing Plan the Heist in my deck. Turn up to 2 other... That ability is like kind of bad usually. You can return your own stuff though. Yeah, there's Farsight Ritual that doesn't see play. That card looks like fine. Yeah, just in small number, right? 1 or 2. You could play it in Pixie. 4 mana draw spells are for boomers. I mean, Memory Deluge begs to differ. This is like kind of Memory Deluge. Memory Deluge goes to the graveyard, but this one gets shuffled back in. It's different, but it's got its upsides. Could be like maybe okay in a Reanimator deck. It sets up Reanimator, and it's like not the way. If you just go like surveil that, you know, you surveil it with one of your surveil land, and then it's your only target for Zombify. You get a 6/7 flying that bounces their like screaming nemesis, and they're like something else. They bounces a roll, I guess. Maybe you just want to bounce a roll. It's got potential. It's like decently costed. It's pretty flexible. Bouncing Binding was a Jace under it. That's not the worst. It's actually pretty good. Playing a Reanimator deck is making his turn 4 versus mono reds. You just play the removals. Play a lot of removals. The Fleshcrafter. Did anyone break the clone yet? You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. 4 mana, 0/0. Renew a blue and 2. Exile this card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target non-legendary creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. So you turn your tokens into something good. Cute was Oculus. You do draw a discard, you get value, put it in the yards. Exile this card from a graveyard. I mean, you could make like all your creatures into FOMOs until end of turn. If you already have Oculus into play, you're probably doing fine though. It sounds like very win more. And it just rots in your hand, and I guess it's not the worst if you're copying a Scholar. Turn 3 Scholar, turn for that. It's probably like too bad, right? Hence the cute, yeah. Blue and 1. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment. I mean, that's really good effect, right? So you can play that, discard the River Regent, reanimate it on 4. Does Pixie like that card? I don't think so. Too mopey. Maybe not. I mean, Pixie doesn't really have that kind of effect, right? Maybe like small numbers? Rolling Dragonstorm is blue-white Omni. Isn't that card just much worse than Charter Course? Yeah, they did start playing Stock Up. Dragonstorm could be better than Stock Up. Isn't better than Stock Up? I don't know. Stock Up is really good. I don't know. My experience is just playing Jeskai Oculus, and them casting Stock Ups has not changed the matchup. They just cast a bunch of Stock Ups and still die to my Scholars and my Profs. Is the Appraiser playable at all? Draws you one of your top 2 cards and another one in the graveyards? Does anyone want that effect for some reason on that at that cost? First color. This is we started was white. And Omni cards. Cura exists. Cura's card disadvantage though. Alright, I guess there's Scholar. Okay. And it doesn't trigger profs. Oh, I don't know. Let's see, try to know what. You didn't put one new card? Oh, there we go. One bargain. Look at the top 4 cards of your life. Put 2 of them in your hand. Nice. But there's one in the sideboard too? The Innovator. Patrick Chapin's got nothing on you. Spectral Deny is not playable, right? This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature controls power 4 greater. Blue and 1 enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards. Then, if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. Taigam. Blue and 1, 2/2 human Monka. Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Then exile the spell you've cast with 4 times count on it if it doesn't have suspend again suspend. Yeah, it seems like too slow, right? Or is there some obviously broken combo? Unending Whisper, Whisper of the Muse, anyone? 1 mana, draw a card, 6 mana, harmonize. It does trigger props. It's like really slow at getting you extra value. I think the mox should be playable. I don't know. I haven't built decks, I haven't thought about it. Anyone think these 2 harmonize cards are playable? The bounce spell or the draw card? That game is likely the best free blind mice enabler. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for free blind mice decks. Winter Night Story is a blue and 2 sorcery, draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card, harmonize. Now we're talking. Speaking of reanimator enablers, it's a lot of value. We don't really care about the harmonize part. It's so slow still. There's a lot of draws with profs. Busted with Oculus. I mean, it's infinitely worse than Scholar. And Scholar's like slow sometimes. But maybe if you have more cheap interaction, you can afford to like tap out for that. Oh, you get the token version right away and you get the real one later. Yeah, but how do you cast it on... It's not on turn 3, right? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you have no ways to trigger it on turn 3 on curve. I mean, that card could be good in like blue-red something, right? Just some really aggressive prowess deck or like a prowess deck. So much value. But you usually want to discard lands on turn 3 in your aggressive decks. You don't really want to discard creature cards. Just Sky Octopus. I mean, I think it's too slow. I think it's like worse than the red plot card now. Maybe play like 1 or 2 us for the late game. We're discussing stories bringing back the Tolerant Terror decks 1 mana body into 1 mana harmonize. Okay, that sounds kind of nice. Winternisaurus with Shelly. Winternisaurus with Mako. I mean, Mako is kind of a bad card. You don't want to play like a mid card to make another mid card bidder usually. Unless like you really need to exploit every and have probably a lot of cheap cards in your deck. Probably want a deck full of 1 mana creature. Pretty good with prowess, right? Pretty good with cheap prowess creatures. It is good with Mako, yeah. But you don't really want to discard 2 cards. Yeah, but I mean, is it better than Scholar? Is it better than than the flexibility of 3 steps ahead? It has a lot of competition. Turn 4, you can cast both sides if you turn 2 prop, turn 3 Scholar. Yeah. Alright, that's it for blue. Didn't put all the dragon cards on the list, but this blue has a clear winner. Blue has like nothing that super stands out, right? You think Digam's busted? It's not bait. Okay. I don't see it, but Taigam Overlord interaction. What's the Taiga Overlord interaction? Oh, wow. Oh, but it's your second spell. How are you casting 2 spells on turn 3? My question stands. What the? So you have a 2-drop that you have to wait until turn 5 to make it good? So bad, dudes. You're just gonna die. I mean, you need to fill your deck with 1 mana spell and have the big payoffs both. And then you're building a wonky deck just to try and trigger Taigam. Yeah, I'm gonna hot take and not even put that card on my list. I don't want to bait my viewers. Clearly, Chemo. I'm jaded. Alright, blue's got no good cards, unless the dragon deck's playable.